Hi everyone, thanks for watching. If you enjoy our shows, please like our videos and subscribe to our channel. And remember to hit the bell for notifications. And you can support us via PayPal, Patreon, Bitcoin, and through our website, ageoftruth.tv.
They've created this fear in all of us, and we have to just do what they say. Fuck no. Think for yourself. Be a human. Have your human rights. We don't need a vaccine to live. We need to eat properly. We need to think about our health care. That's what it's about.
And no social distancing.
No! Of course not. Fuck that.
Absolutely.
You know what the best cure for a human being is?
It's love.
It's oxygen and all this. Yeah, it's that this, not this.
This is what we need.
Exactly.
And people need to stand in their truth.
Exactly. Thank you.
Great.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this special edition of Age of Truth TV. I'm Lucas Alexander in Copenhagen, Denmark. It's the 30th of September 2020, and as I just mentioned, this is a very special edition of our show because you are part of it. We are all together. This is a show about unity. Because recently we asked a lot of you guys to send in a video to participate in our show, sending in a video about why you do not want to wear a face mask, why you don't think that's necessary, why you don't feel like it, why you don't want to comply to these mandatory laws and the rules that we are seeing imposed on the population all over the world practically, and why you don't want to wear them for health reasons because of your health, or for political reasons, or for, you know, ideology, having researched what is going on behind the scenes in this world today and what may be actually the truth behind this whole pandemic. And we have been devoting 2020 to do a lot of shows with a lot of really amazing movers and shakers, doctors, experts, investigative reporters, and you name it, about what is the truth behind this whole pandemic situation that we are facing, with lockdowns, face masks, restrictions, house arrests, and you name it. We will be fighting for the truth. We will try to get to the bottom of what is actually going on, to go behind the shadow veil, to uncover all truths about this. But tonight, this show is not just about why you don't want to wear a face mask. That was meant as a little bit of a fun, well, initiative, a fun collaboration. But it's also a manifestation of energy, because once you send out your frequency, your thoughts, it will manifest, and that energy can change because of your intention. So that's also something that we could take from this video. For us, it's just absolutely wonderful to make this, because it's been great seeing a lot of you. We want to thank you so much for sending in your videos and something of you, your thoughts, yourself. And also, it's been really amazing for us to be out there on the street, to take part in demonstrations and protests. And also, I was hosting the Awaken Weekend conference here in Denmark, where we met so many viewers and so many people that came up to us and said hi, and it's been just so wonderful. The amount of love and appreciation and everything, it's been so rewarding, and we want to thank you all very much. So this is a combination of the videos that you guys send us, and we selected all of those that we felt that we really wanted to include, and also the people we met at these demonstrations and protests. So without further ado, I think we can just say, have a great time watching this and roll the tape. Hi everyone, I'm Lucas Alexander for Age of Truth TV. We're talking about the face masks, and I'm sitting here next to the chairman for Artists for Peace. She's an actress and an activist, and she was also a political candidate here in Denmark. Pernille Grumme.
I'm scared of the masks, actually. Because I would feel very suffocated with the mask on, and I can't breathe, and I hate being in rooms without windows where you can breathe. I think it's something different. It's about controlling us. It's about making us afraid. And people who are in panic are much easier to control. And they are making us afraid of each other. And that's very, very important. And that's making people, that will make people be ill. Because making people afraid of being together with other people are such a stress component that it is very devastating. Everybody knows that the mask don't work, and even as I said, the health authority have admitted that. So why should we do it? It's a symbol of obeying. A mask is a symbol of obeying, and I'm not obeying to the deep state masters or whoever they are who want us to just be slaves for them.
I've never worn a mask, and nothing would induce me to wear a mask. The virus has not been proven to exist. COVID is a scamdemic. And not only that, but the masks don't protect you against anything. To quote several other people, wearing a mask is like a chain link fence with a fly flying straight through it. So wearing a mask is utterly pointless unless you consider the totalitarian agenda which is ongoing, which is all about dividing human beings and stopping the relationships between human beings. How do we express who we are? We have it written on our faces, and that's how we make relationships with others. So the masks are nothing to do with any virus or scamdemic. They're to do with destroying human relationships.
Why are you wearing a mask? Are you wearing a mask for me? Are you wearing it for my protection? I've never worn a mask, and I never will wear a mask. And the reason why I'm not wearing a mask is actually for your protection, because masks are all about control and compliance, and they have nothing to do with our good health. In fact, they damage our health. I believe that you should consider taking off the mask today. We miss you. We miss your smile. We miss your laughter. We miss seeing your whole face. You came here to be free. You came here to have fun. Please consider taking off the mask once and for all.
I recommend you not to wear a face mask because you have to ask, what's the bloody problem? You either stay safe in your slavery and make the prison wall a little bit safer and then make it a little bit nicer, or the other option is to get out of the prison cell. And I'm not here to be safe, I'm here to live life, and the challenge is to let go of any safety and of any comfort zone and just get off the handbrake and let life guide you, and then we get out of this mess and we solve every problem there is on this planet because we've changed our perception and we've learned the lesson, and the problems cease to exist. So see you in the new world.
Why should we not wear masks? Simply because they do not work against what they claim is the reason for mandating them in the first place. They claim that we should now wear these masks in order to protect ourselves and each other against a virus particle that has yet to be proven to even exist. These masks have never been proven to work against viruses. We do, however, know that they filter out bacteria. But remember, bacteria is not the same as viruses. Secondly, it is my understanding that if you wear these masks incorrectly for longer periods of time, which is what most people do, they can have a negative accumulative effect on your own health. They can make you sick. Thirdly, I personally believe that there is an occult ritual going on right now, which is all about submission. So once you start wearing these masks and not protesting against them, you're submitting to the tyranny. You're submitting to your own enslavement. Lastly, there's this whole principle of freedom. Do you really want to live in a world where the government can tell you what to do, what not to do, what to wear, what not to wear, when you can go out, when you should stay home, how many people you can be with at the same time? Personally, I don't. Personally, I think we must stop this madness now.
So right now we are in front of the Parliament, at the Parliament Square in Copenhagen, Denmark, at this demonstration against the face masks and what is going on with the government restrictions.
Yes.
Would you want to wear a face mask? And if not, why do you not want to put that on your face?
Well, I am not wearing a face mask when I'm walking around or if I'm taking any transportation. I won't do that because I don't understand what it's going to help me with. What is it helping? As I understand it, the health authorities in Denmark brought out a video and launched it in March saying you shouldn't wear a face mask. It is not going to help you with restricting or from stopping COVID-19. So they said it in March and then they changed even though the curve went down, which I don't understand. I'm questioning why. And the reason why I'm here is because I believe that we have human rights. I believe that we have the right to say no to vaccines and anything else. Nothing is going to be brought upon me and my kids. And that's why I'm here. And that's why I use my platform. I have 90,000 followers and I've been posting a lot the last week and all the medias have been writing shit about me and I don't give a guac because I don't want this vaccine. When you look into the history of vaccines, just with the flu vaccine, America spent $4 billion since 1992 paying back to all the families which kids died from it. In Sweden, it was the same. Last time, we were a country that stood up for ourselves and we did what we wanted to do. So we didn't go on that vaccine board, and that helped us back then. So I don't understand why we should have a vaccine now. What changed? What changed the whole scenario for us? I thought we were a democracy and that's why I'm standing here, because we need to have our own human rights.
I don't think that it helps anything besides covering your face. It's like keeping mosquitoes out with a chicken net, because my virus is much smaller than the holes in this thing, so it's just for show. I'm not in a masquerade or anything.
So you don't want to wear a face mask?
No, why should I? Why should I wear a face mask?
Because the government is telling you to do so.
I don't. I'm my own boss. I'm my own sovereign person. I don't have to wear a costume. That is not helping anything. Everybody believe this story. Everybody have this virus fear. This virus of fear, which is actually not anything but a fear thing, because nobody is dead, nobody is ill. It's very, very same thing as last year, same thing as every year.
The surveillance, the fear, the control, the approach to this whole situation is totally out of place. It's a completely misunderstanding of what a virus is, completely misunderstanding of the function of a virus, what health actually is. It's a war against, I don't know, against nature, and which is basically a war against ourselves, because we are nature. So I think it's more like, to me, it seemed like we are completely off track of choosing a life where we're choosing a life where we live life in fear of death instead of the love to life itself.
Hi everyone, this is Sebastian Castillo, and this is a short video response to Age of Truth TV's prompt for viewers to make a short video about why we don't want to wear face masks. And first of all, I'm just going to say that the whole thing is ridiculous. It was ridiculous when it started. I called it out when it started, and very few people believed me. And now, here in Canada, it's been about 6 months, right? I'm filming this in the beginning of September 2020, that people have kept this charade up. So basically, I don't want to wear a face mask because it's unnatural, because we were created in the image of God, and if God wanted us to wear face masks, he would have given them to us. We have immune systems, we have autonomy, and we have rights. And if we don't stand up for those rights, we might as well not have them. Thank you.
You're one of the people that are really active in the debate.
Yes.
Why do you refuse to wear a face mask?
Because first of all, I got a brain, and I know that a face mask is very good when you're a doctor and you perform an operation. It takes the bacteria 96%, but it takes no virus, and the virus is not there. So you should be a complete idiot to wear a face mask. It's without reason, it's crazy. I would never wear one, never.
Number one, my doctor prohibits me to wear one because I'm diagnosed with an illness, so I have a medical certificate. But if I didn't have it, I wouldn't wear it. It's brutal to people. We have heard all this CO2 is so dangerous, and now we put a diaper on our face so we can inhale it ourselves. I am furious, Grandma.
I have no idea why I shouldn't wear a face mask. It sounds completely wrong to me. I don't buy into the whole story about illness and sickness and the virus and the way of protecting yourself and dehumanizing yourself in that way. I think it makes, for me, it seems like it's making people more sick to wear it, at least mentally, at least the way we see each other, the way kids see each other. So I don't see why I should wear a mask, and I really don't want to.
I have never used a face mask before, and I have wondered, why don't they tell people how they strengthen their immune system? Because if you strengthen your immune system, you don't need to be afraid of nothing. It's only if you're weak, you know? So if you're weak, I would maybe put a mask if I'm really scared, but I'm not scared. I have a strong immune system. Of course, people that are weak, I can understand they get scared, but...
So you don't want to wear a face mask?
No. I don't want.
There isn't any law about the face mask. It's a recommendation, at least in Denmark. We recommend the face mask, and everyone should do it. So in that way, you can hear it's a kind of... It's making us change our behavior and asking for our acceptance of new rules and regulations. I wouldn't wear a face mask, and I think it's a really horrific thing, especially when children see it. But just this idea that one would spend one's whole day hiding one's mimic muscles and mimic activities, because the mimic activities are the expression of our soul, and every time we're happy, something happens in our face, and when we're unhappy, something happens. We can, of course, learn to hide it. And that's the beauty of the children, that they don't hide it at all. Their face light up like candles. And imagine these children's faces that are lighting up like candles every time they see something interesting, exciting, unusual. Every nuance is shown in their face. The adults, we learn to hide it. We learn to be more sober and solemn in our expressions. But the more solemn and sober we become in our expressions, the more solemn and sober and uninteresting we become in our psychological, emotional life. So I would never, ever recommend anyone putting a child behind a mask or showing children, adults, faces where they have masks on. It seems like the most outrageous and also very, very tragic thing to do. So I don't have any intention of wearing a mask, and today when I went in a shop and they told me I had to put a mask on, I said, I'm sorry, I can't wear a mask. I feel really ill thinking about a mask. So she just said, okay, so I didn't have to wear the mask. So I don't know how serious they're going to get about this, but it still isn't a law. It's a recommendation. It's an offer for you, the citizen, to be a good citizen. And of course, if there was something dangerous out there, if this so-called virus was really dangerous, or if I thought a mask could hold a virus in, which it can't because the virus is so small that it can't even be seen by any super, super strong microscope, and the weave of any mask is already like, 29 barn doors in relationship to the size of the virus. So it can never hold any viruses in or out anyway. So that's nothing about safety. It's about something really different and exposing the disrespect upon humanity that the people making these laws have. So I have no intention of wearing a mask right now.
Right now in Berlin, your hometown, yes. Millions and millions of people are gathering.
Yeah, peaceful,
Why?
peaceful.
Peaceful.
So newspaper telling there's only 10 or 20,000 people. They're telling they're racist, they're anti-Semitic. It's not true. It's just normal people, middle-class people, children, old people, all class. So this morning a friend called me. They put everywhere stacks of cobblestones. So easy you can throw in windows or in car or in police. So why do they do this? Just before the demonstration they put rocks on the streets. Very strange.
Who did? Who did?
We don't know who did it.
So,
they put like concrete barriers, and on the top they put these rocks. The last demonstration, there were some Antifa people coming or other violent people coming and were aggressive to the police. In the news they said it was the demonstration, but it was totally different people.
Usually it's other people, paid crisis actors,
maybe,
who are orchestrated by people.
Seems like that, yeah.
So would you want to wear a face mask?
I hate. Of course I wear when I go to a shop. Yeah.
In Germany?
Yes, of course.
Because you have to?
Yes.
If you go here in Denmark, it's now mandatory to
It's different. Now in Germany you have to wear a mask, you have to keep abstinent, or you pay 500 euro.
So there's a big fine in Germany if you don't wear the mask?
The fine is since yesterday because the Kanzlerin made new laws, new fines for abstinent and mask. So we have to wear. I'm wearing a mask, but when I'm here I don't wear a mask.
The whole idea of what a virus is and how it is optimally handled is totally off as I see it. But another thing is just that we have a system that is obviously rotten. Everything from the political, the economic, the nature and everything is falling apart. And they are now trying to, take full control over society and over the human beings and all that. And I think this is really, really going in the wrong direction. So I think it's time that we as human beings show that we will not let ourselves be pulled in that direction.
I don't want to wear a face mask because, one, I don't think it works. Some people had investigated people wearing masks, video recorded them. I think it was in the US. And they watched how people were wearing the mask, and they kept fiddling with it, touching it and so on. Now the mask is such that the virus and the bacteria are on the inside of the mask, but also on the outside. So all these people fiddling with the mask, correcting it and putting it and so on, handling it, Afterwards, they were touching all sorts of things in the stores, on handles and so on. So it didn't matter. Actually, they were more spreading or more contagious than if they had not had it on. So that's really ridiculous.
So do you think that people should actually say no to wear this mask?
I think it should be a voluntary thing. Wear a mask if you feel safe and that's the best for you, and but let people decide for themselves.
But do you think the virus is as dangerous as they say?
No. It's very interesting that we see that they have these counts for how many are contaminated, but we don't see that the hospitals are overworked in any way. The deaths counts are still very, very low. I think they go up by 1 each week or something. I mean, that's even lower than in a normal season, when now we start to have the flu again. The flu season starts in a few months. So no, it is ridiculous. It's not so dangerous.
But what if people, when you go out and you go into public transportation or anywhere else, they try and harass you and tell you, why don't you just take that mask on and protect other people?
The health authority has shown you and written that it is not law. You can take it off, and you must take it off if it makes you sick or dizzy or something. And then I printed that out, and I have printed also out from the laws that if you wear a mask in Denmark, you can get 6 months jail, because 2 years ago there was this new law that you cannot wear anything in your face. So I have both, and if someone asks me, I'll say, I don't know, I don't want to wear one. I'm not sick, there's no virus. And what do you think when I tell you that you can get 6 months jail if you wear one, and you can get some problem also if you don't?
This is a political thing, right?
Yeah, I've been studying these things since 2010, and now everything is coming to fruition. But also it's being very clear to people what's really going on, because it is a conspiracy and it's not us. We are telling the truth, so please don't say conspiracy theorist, but conspiracy analyst or conspiracy facts would also do.
Hi everyone, I'm Chitra, a content creator living in Zurich, Switzerland for the past 24 years. At the beginning of this pandemic, we had no masks. But since then, the authorities have changed their tunes. Early July, they mandated masks in all the public transportation, and as of last Thursday, the Canton of Zurich has mandated masks also in the shops. Personally, I see this as total political control and social engineering on the unsuspecting masses to accept the New World Order. There's no real science behind this, and I don't believe in this virus theory either. I've done extensive research on this topic ever since being a student of science. What I see is a multifaceted agenda, which I'm sure all the viewers in this channel are well aware of. I see the masks as humiliation, which has connection to the dark occult. Since I have a medical condition, I could get a mask exempt from my doctor early this week. I'm yet to test it out. I hope this was helpful. Thank you and bye.
A face mask is obviously a way to comply to the dark forces. It possibly doesn't even prevent anything. It might not even be efficient if there was a virus. But whenever I have to wear a face mask, which I try to avoid as much as possible, but when I, in certain instances, need to wear a face mask, that could be in the airport, I always make a very evil thought and send it towards Henry Kissinger, because it's so obvious that it's his agenda and his dark overlords' agenda that I'm following whenever I put on this mask.
Hello everybody at Age of Truth TV. Jeff from We Are Change Melbourne here. Thank you for including me in this project. Personally, why I'm against masks is I have seen and filmed the negative health effects that have stemmed from their use. One woman in particular suffered a seizure at a local shopping centre. Also, it leads to oxygen deprivation, which can cause cancer, and they are simply ineffective for preventing the spread of a virus such as this. It is very alarming to also see the streets and river systems full of masks. If it was a deadly pandemic, as it says, there should be a biohazard waste disposal unit if it was really that serious. Also, wearing a mask provides the perfect conditions for the growth of bacteria, which will be breathed back into the person's respiratory system, resulting in further negative health effects. So, do your research before you wear a mask.
This invocation of COVID and the isolationism and the masking, this is us doing it to ourselves. I've not worn a mask once in 6 months, and there is a law, it's mandatory here, okay? I'm not doing it. I'm having 100 small battles a day or a week, making my case. And each one of us have to have the courage to do that. When you understand that this alchemical bifurcation is designed by us at the oversoul level to cleanse and detox and purify ourselves at the civilizational level, as well as at the social, cultural, familial level and the individual level. This is what's happening. And incidentally, without any question of doubt, there is a bioweapon element to this COVID pantomime. Absolutely. And we know that canisters were released in Wuhan, China, in Qom, Iran, in Milan, Italy, and in mainland USA. We know that, and possibly elsewhere. But at the same time, a virus is not a bad thing. A virus is a good thing. A virus is an excretion of the cells. It's a deep cellular detox. Once a virus is out of the cellular system, it is a good thing. You cannot catch a virus. It cannot be transmitted from one human to another. And a mask, sure as hell, can do fuck all to stop a virus, a so-called virus. None of that's real. All of that's part of this orchestration by Sabbatean elements. What it's designed to do is to mask ourselves against our reason, against our sanity, against our conscience, and against our consciousness. It's designed to break up families and relationship. Putting little kids into school behind plastic barriers is perversity in extreme. It is the work of Satan. Only a satanic mind thinks about trying to segregate little babies from one another in the playground and making them stand apart. Okay, look how absurd these grown-up human beings with PhDs are in Congress, in the Senate, elsewhere, who are isolating and standing 20 foot apart. Look at Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi's activities. Look at them when they're meeting the public and everyone is standing in little circles. This is the work of a Saturnian logic. It defiles and defies all of our humanness by design.
What I believe they're doing is they're trying to weaponize, the human body's functions, breathing. They're trying to make out that a little splutter here, a little cough here, and everyone will peel over and die. Whereas the numbers don't support that at all, and nor does the science. The science shows that COVID is basically just another strain of the cold. And if we do spread it around, then we'll all get over it better because we build immunity. And that's what we do as beings of resonance. That is what happens in our bodies, right? If I get over it, I pass the getting over it to you. And then we build that resonance because it's electrical, it's vibrational. It's everything that I've talked about so far. So in answer to your question, I don't wear a mask. I do carry something around that says I've got a disability and I don't have to wear a mask because I don't want to have a fight with the guy in the store. But ultimately, you and I both know that these are systems of control that are basically emblems of our enslavement. And I don't subscribe to that. I don't think COVID is as lethal as you might think. However, I don't put it past whoever is behind all of this, and I do believe there is someone or something behind all of this, to bring in something more toxic at some point, and who knows where that could come from. But we know that toxins come in through Wi-Fi signals or cell towers. They come through the food now, through the poisons in the food, and they're coming in through the air as well at some point as well, when you look up into the sky and you see strange trails up and down. So look, we are in an age where we need to understand this is happening and this is going on, and take a stand for our sovereignty. I'm not saying break the law, but I am saying question everything, and make a stand for your own breath. I want to be able to breathe when I walk into a store. Thank you very much. I don't want to be told by a government that that's a bad idea.
First of all, I think it's not a reason to wear such a such a mask is not for health reasons. The reason is more political than it's for health. And when you dive into the research on the health of these masks, it's not a pretty picture that is being painted for you. It's unhealthy to wear them, which is proven by a lot of research in the field, and also it's not really protecting us against a virus.
Well, there's many reasons I don't want to wear it, and you can research it yourself and what's being said by doctors and specialists from all over the world. But one big reason for me is, if you look, for example, at our system, we've got different glands, and one of the glands we've got is called the amygdala. It's our what they call fear center. One of the things is that children, when they are young, they look a lot at the faces of their parents, and that's very imprinting on the amygdala. So, we learn by facial expressions. Now, what is happening when you cover faces with a mask is that for children, that's a very, very imprinting experience. It is actually desocializing children. And it is actually later in life giving them a severe handicap. And if you think about desocializing, it is even said, we need to desocialize. I mean, what are we saying? Do we need to dehumanize? So masks, one of the reasons I don't want to wear it is, and there's many I've got, but one of them is because of my daughter. I don't want her to see her father going around, which what I think becomes the mark of fear. Another part of it, I think, is like, what is a mask doing? It's a symbol for, not being able to speak up, not to be able to show your emotions, not able to. It's taking away our individual freedom, and it's becoming a mark, that is. It's not just a mark. It is that the very act of it is gathering an energy, and the more people do it, the more it becomes the normal.
Because I can't breathe with a mask. No one can breathe. And you don't get enough oxygen. That's why. And then when I'm traveling in Copenhagen, all the people who is wearing masks, it's just like a horror movie to go around in Copenhagen. So that's why I'm here today, and that's why I'm working for JFK 21.
And why do you think that, so do you think people should refuse wearing a face mask in general?
Yeah, I think, because there's not a law who says that we should wear it. So there's no law about it.
So what is it then, if it's not a law?
Yeah, it's the police, our statsminister, it's our prime minister says we should.
So you think it's more a recommendation than an actual law?
Yes, it is. So and there is nobody have to wear a mask. If you don't feel well, you can take it off. So nobody has to do it, but everybody takes on anyway.
Hi, my name's Derek, the Cosmic Messenger here on Vancouver Island. Hello to all the Age of Truth TV viewers. So why I don't want to wear a mask? I got my list here, and it's quite long, so I'm going to blaze through them fast. It's a muzzle that silenced the human collective. It's a precursor to mandatory vaccinations, New World Order rules for being controlled behind the scenes, It causes stress, anxiety, and fear. It blocks oxygen to the body. Breathing in your own toxins from everywhere you go, you're just recirculating your stuff from your own human body. Subconscious matrix programming from the deep state. It's very uncomfortable to wear. It fogs up glasses. I cannot tell who I'm talking to when I walk down the street, even if I know the person. It blocks facial expressions. It's hard to hear when you're listening to people talk, when they're saying things, especially when you're in public. It feeds an awkward and distorted social behavior. Disposable masks, filling up our landfills like crazy, I'm sure of it. Yeah, so again, like I was saying, you walk by a friend, somebody that you know really well, and you don't even know it's them. Creates a lot of waste and pollution. Does nothing to stop spreading this fake pandemic. My free will is my choice to choose whether or not I want to wear one. Thank you.
That mask doesn't work, but the primary reason is that that mask is a symbol of our submission to the government, and I will not allow that.
So what's the big problem when people say, well, it's just a mask, it's only a mask, it's only to protect other people, and then you say it doesn't work?
The problem is that governments always work as they take a little bite at a time. It's like called the salami method here in Denmark. They take a little slice, they take a little step forward, and then it will become like that's only the beginning.
So what do you think is really happening? Are we seeing a new world order takeover?
It's not whether I assume that. They have said it on the Fox News television that this is the new world order beginning. You have Klaus Schwab from World Economic Forum saying the same thing, and you have a lot of other people, influenced people out in the world saying exactly the same thing. It's not a conspiracy theory, it's a fact.
The reason that I choose not to wear a face mask is because the second I take a face mask on, I feel suffocated. The moment that I take one of these disgusting little surgical things, of course they're a good thing in surgicals, very important for surgeries, etc. But the second I take one on, I cannot breathe. I can feel that the oxygen, it can't get out. And I start hyperventilating, I start panicking inside. I get so much anxiety the second I put it on. So if I have to wear it, like I've been in Germany, for example, quite recently, and I had to wear it, I had to walk around like this. Constantly to just be able to breathe, because I get so much anxiety when I wear it.
First of all, I don't need it. I'm not sick. I don't have any illness, and I'm perfectly healthy. And I don't like the signaling of wearing a mask. I like being able to see people smiling in the trains and the buses and in the shops and all. And I think I don't want to risk my health by wearing a mask. I don't want the mask to collect all the bacteria that I have to exhale from my body. I think God gave us this body to exhale the bad things and take in the good oxygen, and I need to exhale. And I'm just such a person. And I think also it's a part of a bigger ritual. I think it's like there's an underlying religion that we are being initiated in.
First of all, it's not logical. If you look at the figures in England, if you look at the figures in Denmark, in Sweden, in Germany, all around, the amount of people dying from COVID-19 is not in relation. It's not in relation to the amount of people wearing face masks. Actually, we had the biggest amount of deaths before we were wearing face masks. So there's something that's not correlating at all in these calculations. Second, actually, yesterday we had in the Danish parliament, they were together for the first time this year, and nobody were wearing a face mask. They were 1 meter away from each other, and they demand that we should wear a face mask in restaurants, in cafes, in trains and everything. So there's basically no logical thinking in what they do. It's just putting out demands and making claims as this we have to do, blah, blah, blah. And it's actually scaring people. It's making them... Right now we believe that people are dangerous. They are toxic beings. They are kind of making us all like a virus, a walking virus. I'm not a walking virus.
I cannot wear a face mask because of health reasons. Secondly, I have studied the corona, what it means. Corona is a kind of an aura energy around the sun. It's like a fire in the ring, a ring of fire. And it's a kind of symbolism and ritual. It's a crown. It means crown and wreath. And it's used as to enslave and to imprison people. And they will be crowned like with a wreath. That's also a crowning and coronation. I won't wear it because I won't have the mark of the beast to be coronated. I want to be free.
Hello, my name is Lasse and I'm a human being. I have the power of the free will and I choose to exercise that right now. I think it's time for me to exercise my rights, and I do not choose to wear a mask because I don't support the political agenda behind it. I wanna choose for myself. I don't know what you're gonna do, but I can stand up for myself. And I don't like people to tell me what to believe and put their worldview in my mind. I think it's time to stand up for myself, as I said, so that's what I'm doing by making this video. I do not consent to the political agenda behind this. I have my own plans for my future, and I really think this is the last chance to come out and say something about what I feel, and I want to respect my own integrity and keep my self-respect as that human being that I am with the power. Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm Henrik. Why I don't wear a mask? Well, because I'm a freedom fighter and I will never succumb to this evil Agenda 21 plan to take away our freedom. Use your logic and common sense and start using your brain. Ask yourself, why is it that the CDC in the United States have admitted that 94% of all COVID-19 deaths in the USA did not come from COVID-19? There are no pandemic. It's a plandemic made to scare us and control us by fear. That's why I don't wear a mask, the mind control device. As I mentioned, I am a freedom fighter, and I also want to stop the 5G system, which also is all about controlling us and taking away our freedom from us. That's why I and 4 other wonderful people, including my wife, have prepared a lawsuit to stop 5G in Denmark, along with more than 300 other people around all of Denmark. We are ready to go to court, but we need more funding, and we need you. Please sign up and join our lawsuit and help us stop this madness. Thank you.
Wearing a face mask is absolutely unscientific. And just silly. Completely silly. Yeah, so don't wear one.
Every time I wear a mask, my makeup gets ruined. Every time. I don't like these masks. They take half my makeup off with them.
Hiya Lucas, thanks for asking me to, or offering to let me have a video put up on the channel. I've been watching for quite a while, and it's a true inspiration. Your presenting is top notch and bringing some content that you wouldn't get anywhere else, so I really appreciate that. Anyways, quick, as we've only got 1 minute, basically about the face masks, my standing on it is, I've looked into peer-reviewed papers and scientific documents that prove that face masks are not effective at all. It's in comparison, I could describe an analogy would be a mosquito passing through a chain link fence. So they're not effective at all. And if you were to block your mouth and the virus was to be stopped anyways from coming forward, it would still come through the sides. Now, the British government have said that they've recalled masks that they spent something like £200 million on. They've got some new masks that apparently have a tighter seal around the sides, but you've still got gaps. The virus still comes out, and it's not about limitation, because the virus will still get out. Whether it be one particle or two, it's still a virus. And even if you're trying to stop it from spreading, the virus particles are so small, they pass through the mesh in the fabric. And being from the military myself, having been in the military myself and trained in hazmat, biological, chemical, radiological and nuclear hazmat suits, you have to change the filters on a gas mask frequently. So if the government were that concerned about us in wearing masks and protecting ourselves, they would have issued everybody hazmat suits if they really cared.
So right now we are here in front of the Parliament at the Parliament Square in Copenhagen, Denmark, with actor and speaker Dan Schlosser. And you have been very active in 2020, speaking out, and you've been actually the host and the toastmaster of several of these protests against the lockdown here in Denmark. Why do you think that we do not need to wear a face mask?
Well, one of the reasons I'm here and participating in this as an audience is that there is actually no evidence whatsoever to support the idea that they have any health effect. They do not have any positive effect. The Danish Health Council suggests and says that the wearing face masks have little to absolutely no effect whatsoever. On the other hand, it also can have some health issues on people who wear them, damaging their health. But in the public life, between people, they have little to no effect. So I think it's a very big step. It's a very big attack on our personal freedom to force us to use these masks in our public lives, in our transportation and the public environment. So which is why I'm here to protest against that. It's a symptom of submission, you can say. As long as you do that without questioning it, then you agree to the necessity of these more or less fascistic rules that we have been put upon us. Yeah. So of course, yeah, that's another side of that's a symbolic sign. It's a sign of submission, and I don't want to wear that. I don't want to. I don't really have any profound meaning about COVID-19 per se as the illness it is, but I have a lot of opinions and strong opinions about the regulatives and the legislation that are being put upon us. And today it's about the face masks.
I discussed with my doctor the fact that I shouldn't wear a mask, and she agreed with me. So I don't have to wear a mask. But if there was mandatory mask wearing, then I might have to comply. I've never worn a mask, yes, up to now. Now, I've watched people like Dr. What's his name, Buttar and David Icke and Andrew Kaufman And different other speakers like the expert Robert O. Young, yes, he's spoken on the Age of Truth as well. And their advice is that you shouldn't wear a mask because it limits the oxygen you actually take into your body. And I do need my oxygen. And the other point is, why wear a mask? What? I mean, you can't really hear what I'm saying if I'm wearing a mask. You can't really hear what I'm saying if I'm wearing a mask.
I think this mask is not healthy because you have to, if you wear a mask for a long time, you have to breathe in the air you breathe out. And we have a system that has been developing thousands and millions of years about breathing in, cleaning your cells, giving oxygen to your cells, and then breathe out. So I think it's bullshit. It's bullshit that healthy people takes off their right to breathe air. And I don't want to do it just because some very rich person want to have more money and more power. Bill Gates and all these people that want to control and vaccinate us, they are not gonna do it with my consent. I'm gonna stand for myself, and I'm gonna use the brain, my own brain, not what they tell me to think about these issues. I'm gonna think for myself. I'm gonna feel what is good for me or for my body, and that's what I'm gonna do.
So do you think that the Danish Prime Minister actually is taking orders from something outside of this country?
Of course. I want people to make their own research, not the mainstream media. Do your research. Try to investigate. I was just looking at Moderna. That is a what is it called, company. And when you look into the borders, Bill Gates with WHO. You can connect the dots if you use your own brain. If you stop listening to the mainstream media and you stop listening to what they're saying here, you can make the dots, and you can actually find so much documentation for this. But people want to wrap it into a conspiracy theory. The funny thing about conspiracy theories, they're mostly true, but they're just very in front of their time.
And then there are not really theories, then there are facts.
No, but you know, Epstein's pedo island, that was a conspiracy a few years ago, 10 years ago, right? Look at it now. So it's just people not just thinking what the government is telling them to think, and they're doing their own research. And that's why I don't want to say exactly what my beliefs are, because the only thing that matters is that I'm a human and I need to have my human rights to say no to a vaccine. When I have a kid, he's 5 years old, he's had more vaccines than I've had in my 38 years of living on this earth, and I've been doing fine. I don't need those vaccines. He's almost deaf on one of his ears. He's had several allergic reactions he had blood tests, they don't know what it is, and they keep saying he needs to have this vaccine. He's not getting any more vaccines. My 12-year-old, they want to give the HPV vaccine, but if you look into it, Gardasil in US, they have to pay back all these families who had all these complications with it. So if they spend so many years with all these vaccines, which is still not working properly, how should I trust a COVID-19 vaccine?
Especially when they talk about nanotechnology and microchipping.
Have you seen what's on your phone? I'm going to show you something. Have you seen it? Have you seen this? Look at this. So you open your phone and you go into anonymity here. You go into Sundhed. They already put the COVID-19 there. And that one is going to get activated in a week when 5G turns on. So you have to go in and deactivate it. That's how they're going to track. If you've been around someone and I've been around, this is the Chinese, this is what they're doing, and they're already doing it on all our phones, and they did it while you were sleeping. No one knows that this is on their phone. It's the tracking system.
Yes.
There's no virus.
Please talk
There
about
is
that.
5G and 4G, and it makes the symptoms of the virus. So they lied, like they always did, about everything. They lied about history, they lied about this virus, they lied about every bacteria, every virus, every parasite in the world. There are patents on them all. So everything is a lie.
As far as I know, because I use a lot of time every day to study this is being taken down. And we actually are in a third world war, and most people don't know, but it's very important to inform yourself. I tend to be optimistic, but we have to wake up and we have to resist and listen to the truth, then we have a chance. Because the truth is out there, a lot of places, but they are being banned from Facebook, from Google, from YouTube. It's a scandal, 1,000 times bigger than Watergate.
But now they're making it mandatory on public transportation and in restaurants and bars, and probably soon in supermarkets as well when we have to buy our groceries. Will you say no to wear it there, even though people will maybe yell at you or tell you to wear it and be, stand in solidarity?
Yeah, I would. I won't wear it, and then I have to find ways, maybe buy my food elsewhere, find ways of avoiding it, and somehow it limits me, but I don't want to be limited by wearing a mask, and I think it's much more limiting than not being able to go somewhere where some people decided that I need to wear a mask for some reason that they can't really explain me. So yeah, but I'm just gonna try to avoid it and work my way around it.
My body, my right. Hi, my name is Senior and I live in Denmark. It's truly clear for me that the government definitely is going too far. We have all the right to breathe the air. Punktum. In a mask you inhale your own carbon dioxide, which the body no longer can use. Therefore, these words, I can't breathe. There is no study who show that the mask protect against the virus. If the virus COVID-19 is so dangerous, why don't the government tell us how to strengthen the immune system? The situation as it is now is like to be in a horror movie where we are the actors. It is ridiculous how the government attempt at control by keeping the population down in fear with a whole different agenda. Panic before closing time. Dear government, please stop immediately with your lies and attack against the people. It's a crime against the humanity. We are not put here on this earth to be your slaves.
Well, as an actor and as an artist, you are speaking out against what is also happening with our whole business here.
Oh, yeah,
because we are in show business here in Denmark, and all of the jobs, all the actors, the singers and producers and people around show business, they've had practically no work.
The total community of cultures in Denmark is more or less broken down, it's dead. And one of the things that I've really been wondering about is that when I go to my local supermarket in Valby where I live, standard normal size supermarket, we're allowed to be 169 people in there, and I've never seen more than 40. And if it was more than 100, we would stand, so we couldn't be there. But we're allowed to be 169. And there's a lot of museums where they have tremendous amounts of space that is closed because people are not allowed to be there because of the COVID-19 situation. What the fuck is? What's the meaning with that? I mean, we've had this total lockdown now for almost 5 months, 4 months, 5 months, and and there has been almost no sign of a government that is willing to try to loosen up where it's possible, which also means that the population in general is growing very tired of this, because we see no sign from the other side that they are trying to loosen our situation, which is very obvious, very clear in the cultural area, where, I mean, we could have, for a fraction of the money spent on all these legislation, all these supporting activities, we could have had groups of people with knowledge who are walking around, driving around, traveling around to see at the individual stores, museums, theaters, whatever institutions, say, if you do this or this, then you can reopen to this amount. But we haven't had that effort.
No, and people really have to ask themselves what they're doing by consenting to this. Do we have to go, and when is it going to stop, you know? Changing our behavior day in and day out. Wear the mask, get through this, don't go there, stop going to the theater, stop going to the restaurant, stop going to here. We're killing each other economically. Do we really want to kill all the artists? Do we want to kill all the concert halls and the operas and the churches? Do we want to kill out all this part of our lives? People have to ask themselves seriously. I would just go to everything. Of course, you can't go to the play because the actors are all consented and they stayed home and they don't perform. But this is where everybody has to start asking themselves, what are we consenting to? Are we consenting to the complete eradication of all cultural life? So that's gone. That was gone in 1 second. You know, did the Mao, when he had a cultural revolution in the Maoism, in China, Chinese communism was about eradicating culture. And why do they want to eradicate culture? Because it's in the cultural life that we wake up, we get interested, we ask ourselves questions, we are creative, and we become new people. They want to eradicate it immediately. It was much easier than in Russia and in China. I can't believe that people don't see it. But they don't. They're afraid, so they stay home and they consent to the fact that hundreds of thousands of artists, thinkers, philosophers around the world have had their livelihoods taken away from them.
I think it's to listen to the inner voice, to the intuition, instead of obey to this madness going on in here. Yeah, it's like, it's time to rise up for the world we wish to see, instead of hide or isolate ourselves in fear or pointing fingers and playing this blaming game. It's just not working that way. We have to unite in love, and
Yeah, but it's also separating a lot of people, huh? No ordinary people, even friends that you may have had, who think that you are very wrong for speaking out against what is going on, huh?
Yeah, that's something that I will have to deal with. You know, it's part of the process of being extreme out of the stream, but I see where the stream goes, and it's definitely not where the love flows, in my opinion. So yeah.
Why do you think they want us to wear this face mask?
I don't know. It's completely wrong to me. So I'm also asking the question: who is it that got the idea? Who told our government? Because it seems it's not an idea they got here in Denmark that might be a good idea. Maybe we should start doing that. That could help our people here in Denmark. It seems like an order from somewhere, and at least many other countries got the same idea at the same time to do this. And no explanations about why and how it works. We get some explanations, but no real evidence. So, but even if I had evidence, I think it's a wrong way of walking around as a human being. So I wouldn't do it anyway.
So do you think people should say no to this and actually stand up and say we do not want to wear this face mask?
Yeah, I hope that people do it, because I hear people talking in the corners and saying, yeah, it doesn't work. But of course people are afraid, and I feel that too. But if they see me and other people not wearing it, maybe it helps. So, but yeah, standing in what I mean, what I believe in, I think that's really important.
I think the most important thing is that it constantly reminds people that they're in a war. You know, you still need protection. You cannot, you know, relax and be at ease. You know, they're pumping fear into the society all the time, like, even though they know how bad fear is for our immune system. So they want to keep us at that level. And this is what society always has done. If it is terrorism, global warming, or whatever, the enemy, the invisible enemy is out here, you need protection. And I think that's the same thing what is going on now. And because there's no virus around, they make us walk around with this mask to remind us that we are still in a war. There's still a danger out here we need protection from.
So this is a war on consciousness, mind control.
Yeah, I can say it also on control of the people. They say that what they're trying to, I mean, it is so rotten, everything from the economy to the political system, everything. But still, they want total control over us, take our freedom, our rights. They want to abandon, you know, cash, money. So they want to have full control. And I think it's time for us now to draw a line in the sand and say, no, we're not going to take this, because it is obviously taking us in the wrong direction and away from nature, which is the cure, which is the answer.
Well, we just have to say no. I mean, a clap hat is 10 times more efficient against corona, because it doesn't have any side effects, and with a sense of humor, you never get sick. It's so healthy to laugh at this whole fucking circus. It's a joke. I mean, and if we're wearing a face mask, we are just we're just humiliating ourselves. Where's our self-respect? Where's our sense of pride and justice and truth? It's gone. Why are they talking about face masks? Why are they talking about vaccines? Why is no one talking about vitamins? Why is no one talking about hawthorn, garlic, ginger, chili? That could solve the problem tomorrow. We just have 1, 2, 3 meals with this, and corona would be gone forever if everybody had it.
And do you actually think that the whole coronavirus, COVID-19, is real and not just a hoax?
I don't think it's real. I think it may have something to do with reality. I think they may have taken a virus and they may have manipulated in a lab, but it may also be a bacteria. Because bacteria are contagious, but virus isn't contagious.
But we also have natural viruses and exosomes in our body that can be triggered by, for example, electromagnetic radiation and fluoride and chemtrails and what is
exosomes is just rubbish from your cells that comes out when you're poisoned. And what is poisoning us? 5G is poisoning us. Mobile radiation. What you call it, this little box you have in your home.
Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi is poisoning us. So of course we are cleaning out. And once you're cleaning out and you get together with other people, you inspire their body to clean out as well. Just like women menstruating, they tend to menstruate at the same time if they live together. So it's not contagious. It's just that one body cleaning out inspires the other body to clean out, because we
natural cycle.
Yes, and we are one big human organism anyway.
I think it's up to people themselves to decide what they want to do, but at a minimum, they can always, whenever they need to put on the mask, if they decide that they have to put it on, then they can at least direct their attention towards the evil agendas that are behind these masks, and that is obviously something to do with Kissinger and his dark overlords. If you look at the early op-eds that Kissinger and his handlers were producing already towards the end of March, they laid out the whole foundation for what they want. They want COVID in 1984. They want total control, more 1984 coming. So I think if you just take the time and research, do read the old original op-eds that they produced. They announced everything that they're putting in place now. And that has to do with totalitarian control of people's movement and whatever you can do and can't do. More control, more surveillance. It's a surveillance, global surveillance kind of situation that they're creating.
This initiation process is about isolating people, moving them away from each other, creating a distance between them. We're by 6 feet, and we are all electrical bodies, and it goes around like 6 feet and much more, I believe. But around that, you can really feel other people's electrical field if you're aware of it and if you're sensitive to it. And I think I just think it's plain stupid to wear a mask.
It's not about safety. It's about conforming. It's a ritual. It's a psychological, planned ritual to create a frequency of behaviour that is easily controllable. Experiments have shown that in a room of people, once you have a certain amount of individuals doing something, you're going to follow them. It goes back to a survival strategy that we develop as babies called group learning. If you see other people doing something, you copy it and you learn it, and eventually that becomes your survival mechanism psychologically. It gives you a chemical relay telling you you're doing the right thing, when in actual fact it's not. It doesn't mean just because you're following the crowd that it's necessarily always going to be for your own good.
So do you think that the population in general should be forced to wear a mandatory face mask because the government is saying that?
No, I don't think that, because it seems like, I mean, it's the statistics says that it's died 50 times less people this year than in a normal flu, like 17, 18. There was a flu. It was a hard flu, but 50 times more died, and they didn't put a mask then. Why should we do it now? It seems very strange, everything. And what is also seems strange is that nobody informs people what they could do just to be healthy. Why should we be scared? Why should we all talk about vaccinations for something that is so normal? I don't understand it.
In 2017, there were 2,400 people dying from influenza in Denmark. This year, we had 600 people dying, maybe dying or maybe not dying from COVID-19. 600 people. That's a fourth. And certainly we have to wear a face mask. Why don't we wear a face mask when we have influenza, when we have measles, when we have all kinds of diseases? We don't. So this is a control factor, and it's like a political correct thing, and they have a chance to go in and control the people and do something extraordinary, so they will be remembered forever and be written down into the books and into Wikipedia as the ones who did something great. This is not great. This is a disaster, and it's not okay to do.
You know, our systems, they want to get rid of, if we are sick, of all those things that we get sick of. This is bacteria and viruses. Now, if you put a mask on your face and you breathe out bacteria and viruses, the mask is actually preventing it to go out. And, you know, you start to breathe it in. So you start to breathe quicker, because you can't get rid of the CO2. So you start to breathe quicker, and everything you try to get rid of, you breathe in again. Now, we know what they say about corona. It's not, you know, the virus itself, it's the quantity of it. So if the corona is true, and there you could put some questions, but if it would be true, it would actually say, if I have a mask on, I'm actually intoxicating myself. I'm making myself ill. And, you know, this is just a couple of reasons. There's many more. But that is why I am severely against wearing a mask. And I think it's a criminal act. You know, it's basically, you know, trying to create a normal that is not a normal. So basically, that's it.
The material world is an illusion, and we do not solve this at the material level. We solve it at the metaphysical level, because everything is energy. Our bodies are all about frequencies, and everything is about resonance and vibration. So that's where we solve it, and that's what we need to understand, and that's why 5G is such a gift, because it teaches us about the real nature of reality. And this is what it's so urgent now for us to understand, that the reality that we've been taught to believe is real is actually not the case at all. It's a complete non-material reality, and we're all connected. And so we don't communicate in the way that we think we communicate. We communicate through energy. And so it's absolutely inevitable, as far as I'm concerned, that we are going to come through this, and we're going to come through this into a much, much better world. In my view, a paradise. I've always been confident about it, and I'm totally positive.
People don't want to see the truth. They have like a cognitive dissonance, and they don't want to see the truth, and they don't want to admit that we have a like kind of a caste system, that we have some people in charge of the world controlling all the others. People don't want to accept that. It's a big bite for people to accept. So it takes time, but I really believe that this is just the beginning, and I'm really, what can I say, like I can feel that this is just the beginning. Tomorrow it will be a new day. Many people are waking up. We're speaking thousands and thousands of people every day waking up to this new world order. And I believe that this is just the beginning.
So do you think people should be brave enough not to wear them in public transportation?
I think everybody should boycott wearing a mask. Everybody. It's not useful and it doesn't work.
It seems that I have had the virus and I have had no effects at all, no after effects. I don't even know how I've had it. And the same with children, because I teach and I'm with a lot of children. They seem to also have had it or have been with people that have had it and they don't get sick.
Right.
So something is wrong. Something in this story, the narrative, is very wrong.
Greetings from Spain, Galicia, A Coruña. My name is Adrian, and I'm recording to you this video because I have seen many of your interviews for more than a year, and I just wanted to let you know about this request you made about the mandatory masks. And I think it's a good time to make this video because yesterday I was at my gym, CrossFit gym, and a new law was passed. I don't know if it's a law or what it is. I don't think it's a law, but they are making everybody train with their masks on, including the nose. So as I never watch TV anymore for more than 6, 7, 8 years maybe, I saw everybody the next day because I went Wednesday and nothing. And Thursday everybody was wearing the masks while training. So I kept training without the masks, without my mask. And then a guy responsible for leading the class, monitor, or how do you say that in English? I don't know. He told me you have to put the mask on. I know it has no sense, but you have to put it on because the new thing that was passed today makes us wear it. So just put it below your nose. You don't have to put it all in your face like everybody's doing. So just by letting your nose outside, it's fine. And it really made me happy when I saw your video requesting that information, because somehow I'm feeling quite alone, because none of my family, almost none of my family, my mother a little bit, and my girlfriend sometimes doesn't wear the mask all the time, but all my friends, everyone else is wearing it all the time. So, you know, many times I feel alone in that way. And yeah, here in Spain the thing is quite difficult right now. They are, day after day, they are shutting us down more and more. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I always try to talk to everyone, like, but what do you think? I mean, they're telling you to do this, but you have an opinion, right? What do you think about it? Because these people are only telling things what to do, and they're not even asking. So just just like that, trying to connect to people. I have been fined once by the police. I'm not going to pay that fine in my lifetime, because the moment they fined me, it was in a nearby city, and they told me, you have to put your mask on because the government is telling you to do it, so you have to do it. And I was like, it's 8 in the morning, there is no one around me, so why do I have to wear the mask? And he answered me the same as before, the policeman. So it was like, okay. He requested my ID, and I just do it. So this is how it is in Spain. I think I don't know if this is a long video or not. I send you hugs and love, because here in Spain the thing is getting pretty bad. I don't know if you have been informed, because some people in Madrid have been starting to move, but here in Galicia I think the thing is totally shut down. So take care, guys. Best wishes to you, and be well. Bye bye.
Hello guys, Age of Truth. I'm your big fan. You helped me with lots of your stuff. So, about masks. Those are masks. I got it because I like to go to Halloween whatsoever. But this here is my mask. I do not believe that any of those can help me if there is actually virus made in some lab or whatsoever. I'm a war vet, been in 2 armies, 1 war, so I know a thing or two about biological, chemical warfare. So if this is made in a lab to kill people, it's meant to overpass all the masks, and this piece will help me, sure. And one more thing for the end. This is not only about veterans. It said I'm a veteran. It's not that I can and other can't. It is that I did and other didn't. So I think that I said all. Much love, good luck you all.
Hola, mi nombre es Valentina, soy de Chile y actualmente vivo en Dinamarca. Y soy un ser humano libre, con la opción de elegir. Y elijo no apoyar la agenda política que hay detrás de todo el coronavirus y usar mascarillas. Y obviamente eso es una decisión propia, no puedo decidir por nadie. Pero me rehúso a usar mascarillas por toda la agenda política que hay detrás de esto. Gracias.
The order followers, the people who don't think, they will just attack you. And that's really sad that we now are divided and we are against each other. Maybe this is the government's intention to divide us, so we are not getting aware of what is actually happening in this society.
People should wake up now so they don't have to be enslaved. People are so full of fear that they can't use their own critical thinking because they're so full of fear.
We will take the government down. That's what we do. They'll do it in Germany and then we'll do it in Denmark.
Right now, millions of people are gathering in Germany.
5 million. And they stay for 5 days. They have food, they have water for 5 days. And they don't go away until the government is down.
You have to find that bravery inside, of course, that trust inside.
to be your own master, to be your own sovereign person. And I know that some people would like to have authorities to lean on, but I think we have to see that our authorities, they are not trustworthy anymore. Like the government and what they say, you can see that it is not making sense.
We should be brave. If we're not brave, we are done. So we don't really have a choice. We have a gun to our head. Comply or fight. I don't mean like with weapons in the street. That's not my style. I think using your mind, talking to people, what you do, this wonderful demonstration, that's how I like to fight.
Great.
Really amazing. People are
really
waking up.
amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's wonderful.
What I would say people need to do, switch off the mainstream media, do your homework. All the conspiracies, do your homework. Look into it, find the documents, they're all there somewhere. Do your homework, because if you think for yourself, instead of being in a freeze and fear, as they've done us to, they've created this fear in all of us, and we have to just do what they say. Fuck no.
People that do need oxygen don't need a mask. So with that, I shall say, don't wear a mask.
I think the reason for being so chaotic is so that people really stop thinking about it and ask the question. For example, here in Denmark, they close the country one day and on the same day they're opening up Sweden. So this doesn't make sense. So every day we see at least 10 new recommendations that don't make sense. Like you, at 10 o'clock you can't go in the restaurant, but before that it wasn't dangerous. So when you're standing up you need a mask, and when you're sitting down you don't need a mask. All these things are so silly and ridiculous that nobody can really get behind it. So you can't get behind it with your thinking. So when your thinking can connect you to to all these rules and regulations and you can't see any logic in it, then you stop thinking. You just think, okay, they know and they're going to protect me and it's all for my own good, or maybe it's not for my good, but it's for the good of some older people and so on. So people want to, of course, help each other, and that's very understandable that nobody wants to do anything that would cause harm to anybody else. But still, this way of making chaotic rules, like when you get in this town, you have to put on a mask when you're on the train, and you can take the mask off by the time you get to another town half an hour away. That's absolutely ridiculous. You know, these are insane rules and regulations. But everyone wants to know how far can they go with it, how far can they go with martial law, and not call it martial law, world martial law. We have to just know what it is. Any dictators would have been so happy. Wow, could it have been so easy? Do we have to make it so easy for them? People, burn your masks, take them off, or never buy them. That would be my recommendation.
The people that are trying to force this upon them, or people or whatever they are so few. They are so few. They are in the thousands, I believe, globally. We are billions. We're billions. It's like, oh God, if you're on a beach, you're on a sandy beach. This was what a mathematician told me. We are the whole beach of white sand. You pick up 1 grain of sand, that's them. Why are we even in this situation? It's a joke. It's an absolute joke, and we have to take a lot of responsibility for being so lame and such cowards and so asleep, or I would say not asleep, but choosing to focus on something of less importance than the wealth, caring and being of the children and the population of the innocent countries that are being bombed the shit out because of some psychopaths that want even more to fill up this empty black hole inside of them that will never get filled anyway. Ugh.
I think the takeaway for me is that it's all about love, it's all about consent, and it's all about love, and it's nothing about fear. The control system keeps you in fear because that keeps you in paralysis. And when you go into love and you refuse your consent, but without becoming violent or aggressive, but you simply stand your ground and say that you are not going to cooperate with this agenda and you do not give your consent. And then the whole thing melts away. because ultimately the system is all in your mind. That's how we win, through love.
Wow, thank you to so many of you for participating, for sending in your thoughts, your videos, and sharing some of yourself with us. We so appreciate that. And we also want to thank all of the people that we've met during these demonstrations, the protests, and the recent conference here in Denmark. How rewarding, wonderful, and full of love it's been to meet all of you and to have you on this unity show, because we really do feel that this is about unity. Together we can change the frequency. Together we can work for a better world, to change what is actually going on right now and to make everything a lot better. Thank you for watching. You can support us. Please click onto our website, ageoftruth.tv, and please like our videos, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell for notifications. And do sign up for our newsletter on our website, ageoftruth.tv. In that way we can let you know directly when we have a new show on, because we are facing a lot of shadow banning and ghosting, and this is very, very compromising and terrible. But we don't want to focus on the negative right now, because we need all of your support. We need you to spread the word, to share links to our videos so we can build an even bigger audience. And we would also like you to comment on our videos. You can share your comments below, and of course tell us if you have some great suggestions for guests to be on our show as well. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again very, very soon.